So what is a real man? A whole bunch of people got mad at me yesterday because I used the term real man and real women. What is real? What is a real man? What is a real woman? I think most people sometimes get offended by that because they do not understand the definition of that, or they know truly inside themselves that they are not a real man or a real woman. That they say that it is all subjective. To a certain degree, it may be, but for the most part, it is not. And ladies, unfortunately, there are a lot of boys running around portraying themselves as real men. And unfortunately, a lot of you women have been subdued into believing that what society has said is a real man is a real man. You see, a real man is not someone who is a six-figure earner, who has a title like doctor, lawyer, business owner. They can be, but oftentimes they're not. You see, when a man leads with his wallet and leads with his title, then that is not an indicator of a real man. Because a man who leads with his wallet and leads with his title is merely saying to you that his character is based on the type of money he makes, the title to which he has. And there is nothing wrong with making six figures, and there is nothing wrong with having titles that you have accomplished. Every man should accomplish things in his life. Whatever goals he set for himself, those goals should be accomplished. If he is not someone who is accomplishing his goal, he may and more likely is not a real man. So there is nothing wrong with having those titles and having that money. But what he does with it is what makes him a real man or not. You see, if you're making six figures, but if your company shuts down and within 3 months you're homeless, you are not a real man. If you have the title and you flaunt that title and demand respect because of your title, you are not a real man. You see, a real man, regardless of how much money he makes, has built a hedge of financial protection around himself, and that financial protection can be extended to his family. Now, a real man doesn't overextend himself. A real man, if he's only making enough money that he can build that protection around just himself and not be able to afford a wife or afford a children, he does not bring a wife nor children into the picture because he is not prepared for that and will not give up that security for someone else just to be present. It's not what a real man does. He makes very discerning decisions in most aspects of his life. They're not always going to be perfect, but he's very discerning in those situations. And when a situation proves itself not to be as advertised, a real man will remove those situations from his life. Now, that's easy to say when it comes to women, but of course, when it comes to children, a real man, before he brings the children into his life, he's going to ensure that he can afford those children. Now, tough times do occur. If you have a real man, when he's knocked down, he may take a step back. But when he gets the hell up, and he will get up, he'll take 2-3 steps forward to ensure that if he's ever knocked down again, it does not put his family in the same jeopardy that it was in the first time. It's what a real man does. He learns and he grows. He learns from his mistakes. He grows from his mistakes. A man who repeatedly does the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, he is not learning from his mistake. He is not growing. A real man is always becoming. He is always growing. And a real man would only allow those within his circle to be those who are becoming greater things, not those who are staying stagnant or becoming lesser things. As a matter of fact, there's no such thing as stagnation. You're either growing or you're dying, one or the other. Your vibration is going up or your vibration is going down, plain and simple. No other ways around it. No subjectiveness to it. It is what it is. You're either growing or you're dying, one of the two. And a real man recognizes those things. And he is always trying to polarize himself to the higher growth, to the higher vibration. That's what a real man does. That's what a real man does. A real man is very discerning of his queen. If she proves herself to truly be a queen, then he can call himself a king because he recognizes that just as any king would have wise advisors around him, he knows that his wife is the wisest. He knows that his wife is his most trusted advisor. A real man, when it comes to big decisions of the family, goes to his wife. They sit down, they have conversations, they deliberate pros and cons of which pathway they should choose. A real queen will recognize that this real king is trying to do the best for them, not the best for him. And she will come alongside with you. And when times do get tough, she'll get down in the dirt with you. It's what a real king and queen does. But a real queen will find herself becoming a pauper, a peasant. She allows a fake king to be in her life. And a real king will become a pauper if he allows a fake queen in his life. So a real king is very discerning of those things. A real king is a nurturer. You go out into this world, you fight all the hardship and all the evil and all the frustrations of this world. A real king doesn't bring those things home. A real man doesn't bring those things home. A real man has built that sanctuary before he met you. A real man maintains that sanctuary even after he met you. A real man comes home, he nurtures his kids, he nurtures his wife. He helps them to become greater versions of themselves, always becoming. That is what a real man does. A real man doesn't come home and berates. A real man doesn't come home and beats. A real man doesn't come home filled with anger and push that anger onto his family. That's not what a real man does. And whether that real man is a janitor or a bus driver or any other occupation that you may think is not big enough, that real man does not bring that anger home, but comes home to have joy and peace and love. That's what a real man does. And a real man brings joy, peace, and love. A real man is in touch with his feelings. He doesn't bury them down deep. He doesn't seem to be emotionless. He doesn't let things boil up and then explode. A real man deals with his emotions. A real man knows whether he can trust the woman that he's with, that she can handle his emotions. But he deals with them. He overcomes them. He subdues them. He utilizes them to make life better in that house. That's what a real man does. A real man protects his family. He protects his family against everyone and everything. A real man will protect his family against his own parents, his own brothers and sisters and cousins and nieces, nephews, aunties, uncles, friends, co-workers. A real man protects his family against anyone. He'll protect his family against your parents, your uncles, your aunties, your brothers, your children, everyone. A real man will protect you from everyone and everything. That's what a real man does. He protects his family. And in protecting his family, he's protecting himself and he's protecting his peace. He's protecting his finances. He's protecting the sex in the family. He's protecting the joy in the family. He's protecting everything in the family by making the most sound decisions he possibly can with the help of his trusted advisor. It's what a real man does. And like I said, he comes in every shape. He comes in every size. He comes in every height. He comes in every weight. He comes in every build. He comes in every job description. He comes in all those things. Everyone has their preferences, and that's fine. But if your preference is a real man, if that is the most important thing, then that's at the top. That's at the top. All those other things fall below. His character is at the top. Not his money, not his house, not his car, not his clothes, not his build. His character is at the top. So, real men do this. They take inventory of themselves to know whether or not they are a real man or not. They know where they are weak at. They know where they're strong. And they look to build their strengths. And they continue to become greater versions of themselves so that they are always becoming. So take stock, gentlemen. Are you a real man? Or are you just a boy dressed up like a real man? Always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.